Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Julie Hansen, a professional artist, urban sketcher and drawing teacher. This video is the first part of a series on drawing materials for urban sketching. If you're new to urban sketching, finding the right tools can be overwhelming. But no worries, I'm here to help. Okay, today we're talking about brushes, one of the most important tools in your sketching kit. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the 3 brushes I recommend for beginners. Size 10 to 12, size 6 to 8, and size 2 to 3. All of them are synthetic brushes. Why synthetic brushes? They are cheaper than the natural hair brushes, always great for beginning artists. And of course, we don't want animals to be hurt in the production of our art supplies, alright? So let's start with the size 10 to 12 brush. I see a lot of beginning artists having their brush cases filled with different kinds and sizes of watercolor brushes, but all of them are quite small. And I want to say that you really need to have a large one. At least size 10, even if you sketch in smaller formats. Not like this, of course, but definitely like this, or bigger. Okay, the large brush is perfect for sketching large areas and adding washes of color. The key with this brush is to use light touch and work quickly, as synthetic brushes don't hold as much water as natural hair brushes. However, this brush, for example, and also this one, but we'll come back to this a little bit later, are imitations of squirrel, and these brushes hold quite a lot of water, and it's a very good characteristic of brushes. The more water they hold, the longer you can paint, and the more beautiful brushes you can create. How can you use this brush? You can use this brush to add quick washes of color to the sky, buildings, water and other large areas in your sketch. Let me show you what I mean. For example, in this sketch, I painted this part, and this part with the largest brush. And as you can see, a large brush has quite a small tip. That means that you also can paint small details with it. Not very small, but quite small. Okay, another example of a wash with the largest brush is this. And you really can paint something like this with this brush or this brush, because they are really way too small. Okay, or here, for example, I painted this part and also this whole stroke with the largest brush. And also here, I paint all the largest areas, the sky and the fields, with a large brush. And only later I added details with a smaller brush. And also the sky like this you only can paint with the largest brush. And the grass here. This brush is size 12, by the way. But if you paint on smaller formats, size 10 will also be good. So the next brush is size 6 to 8. Great for sketching smaller areas and adding details. This brush is more precise than size 10 to 12, allowing you to add finer lines and details to your sketch. You can use this brush to add details to windows, doors, trees and other small elements in your sketch. Let me show you what I mean. So, for example, again, back to this sketch. In this sketch, I painted a lot of shadows. For example, here, these shadows are painted with a small brush, with size 6. This is the size 6, by the way. Let me see, the tree, and also some shadows here and some smaller details. And in this sketch, I painted all these darker parts with a smaller brush. And by the way, the windows too, the windows and the door. And here I added the smaller details, like trees in the background, and this is, by the way, the smallest brush. And also here some spots. And in this sketch I painted the trees with a smaller brush and also the windows. And the last one, these parts, the shadows, this, the greenery, a lot of greenery is painted here with this size 6 brush, and also some parts of the grass. And the most shadows. So, and finally the smallest brush, it's size 1 to 3. Depending on the brand, it will be differ a little bit. Sometimes it's size 1, very, very thin, and size 3 is quite thick. And this is size 2, and sometimes it's size 2 a little bit smaller, and sometimes it's a little bit larger. You never know, you just need to see it before you buy it. Okay, so this brush is a little bit stiffer. If these are squirrel imitations, they are very soft and they hold a lot of water, and this is the reason why you can paint things like this and this and create more beautiful washes with it than with the stiffer brushes. But with this brush, it's a very precise brush. It allows you to add very tiny details like leaves on the trees, but also very small shadows and very small details. And I think one of the best examples actually with this brush is painting these very tiny people here in the foreground, but also in the background. So it's very difficult to do the same with this brush. You probably can because the tip is quite small here, but it's very difficult to be so precise as with this brush. And also because this brush holds more water, it's more difficult to not to release this water at the wrong moment. So okay, this brush is great for details. I also used it, for example, for this. A lot of grass here is painted with the smallest brush, and also all these tiny details and the house in the background. This is really perfect for that kind of things. I don't think I even used it here. I'm not sure, maybe here. It looks like this was a very small brush. And in this sketch, for example, I remember that I painted the leaves on the tree because they are very, very small, and it's perfect for this kind of details. And also I used gouache instead of watercolor for this, but I painted these letters with the smallest brushes. Also very handy because it's stiff and you can use it for gouache. It's much more difficult to use these soft brushes for gouache, but this brush is perfect. Okay, so we talk about urban sketching here, and urban sketching happens very often on location. And for this matter, I also have these Skoda brushes. And this is a squirrel imitation. It's a Skoda Ultima. And this is also a very soft brush, and it also holds quite a lot of water. but I actually love these brushes more. But these brushes are actually not really from a brand. It's from a art store chain. It's German, and I guess they only have their stores in Germany and in the Netherlands. Okay, but you can buy a Skoda brush, for example. It's quite a good brush, or any other brush, squirrel imitation of good quality. Okay, so the last thing I want to say about the brushes. I know a lot of beginning artists forget their brushes in water, and that's really a bad thing for brushes. They can get damaged because there is some glue inside the brush, and if you keep it in water, then the glue will get damaged, and your whole brush will get damaged, and the shape of the brush will also be different than it should be. So you want to have your brush in the shape like this. So when you stop painting for a minute or for a day, it doesn't matter, remove your brush from the water and keep it like that. Okay, and if you stop painting, try to dry it a little bit very softly, and then you can enjoy your brushes years and years long. So, okay, that's it, all for brushes. Now you know how to use all the 3 brushes in your urban sketching kit. And you probably also know that you don't need more than that. So these 3 sizes is enough for all your urban sketches. And if you want to draw on location, paint on location, then you can use brushes like this. Travel brushes are very convenient. You can always bring them with you and paint on location. Okay, so if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more urban sketching tips and tricks. Until next time, happy sketching!